Hey. Yeah, 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 yeah. How you doing, everyone? Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, here we go. Here we go. I hope you're well. It's Odessa. I'm here to have a conversation with you, to talk about anything womb wellness, to talk about anything mind, body, soul. And for those of you who don't know what I do, I help women, greetings and good day. I help women to increase their health and vitality by helping them to deal with issues such as fibroids, PCOS, abnormal cycles, infertility, repeat miscarriages, and help them to feel less discomfort and pain, less clots, reduce their medication, and just kind of start aligning to themselves on a deeper level. A lot of the women who come to me talk a lot about wanting to feel in alignment. And so today I wanted to talk with you about why you cannot heal in the same environment that you got sick, right? So, if you have experienced anything that I mentioned just now, fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, repeat miscarriages, clots, irregular cycles, high dosages of pain medication. I've got my window open here, getting some breeze. High pain medication, oftentimes we think to get the results that we want, once we've started to exhaust, our resources, right? In terms of what we know, in terms of what people have given us, with regards to information, and in terms of our own personal research, then we start to apply the work, right? We start to drink the teas. You've got your red raspberry teas. You've got people will talk about nettle, or maybe you start taking these vitamins. Like this. There's a whole heal myself movement, which is important, right? And so that's what a lot of people get onto. We start talking about eating better, so we start, paying attention to which restaurants we're going to or fast food places that we're going to. We begin to spend more time trying to consume green foods, or you cut out different kinds of foods, or oftentimes, if you're not into this aspect of the work and pushing this, like pioneering so ahead in terms of doing your own research to apply, oftentimes you just kind of revert to what's been given to be able to cope and control, which includes the pain medications, right? The Aleve, the ibuprofens, the aspirins, right? And then we also revert back to maintaining a status quo or homeostasis within the body using things like birth control, and whatever other means of medication you're using to help stabilize your condition, right? But the thing is that if you're looking for a particular kind of results, you're not always going to reach the zenith that you're looking for with just this, Then I'll hear people will tell me that they're applying the affirmations, you know what I mean? That, working towards healing their body, their trauma, because as I've mentioned before, the scope of work that I do includes soul therapy, includes mind, body, soul, spirit. So we look at integrating everything. And so when people say, okay, well, I'm integrating the affirmation, I often question, how much of the work they're doing to be able to get the results that they want, right? How much research, how much have you done? What kind of real protocols have you integrated and used to be able to get the results that you're looking for? So, why is this wrong? Because oftentimes when you have reached the point where you found me, oftentimes, not all the times, but by the time you've reached me, you're probably in a chronic state, or your physical body is in a chronic state where you have tried all the things, you've been going through it for years, or you're in a very acute state where you're experiencing the stress and frustration and apprehension, and anxiety. Example of, when am I going to get pregnant again? When can I start getting pregnant again? I just lost another baby. I'm grieving. I need to, get up and go. I really want to do this. So, the first thing that needs to be done, right, is to not do that. But what does that mean? You need to reboot, right? By the time I have met up with, the people who are meant to work with me, there's a certain level of stopping and restarting that needs to happen, right? Because you can't continue to push on an empty vessel. You can't. There is a certain level of perceived advancement that you can get and results that you can get, but you're cheating yourself and you don't even know that you're cheating yourself, right? Your systems are clogged. Your organs are clogged, they're bogged down with food that, hasn't been well digested, with the garbage from the food. We know that plastic leaches, into the body. We know that, it contains, a lot of different toxic carcinogens that create, more disruption. They have hormone disruptors, so they create more hormone disruption in your system, right? And so, like example, this question of rice, coming from Asia, like it's the truth, but rice in general, like some people have noticed when they eat it, there's a huge difference, right? Or when you're seeing these videos of people, that was so weird. That was bizarre. So, lighting up food, and, it's just burning. Like your lettuce or your cabbage or your rice or your nacho chips or your popcorn are not burning, right? And they're supposed to. Food is supposed to light up and go in flames, but they're just kind of continuously burning. So all of these things that we're eating, these things that we, are holding on to are actually really sticking to us, right? Because we want to hold on to, they're sticking to us. They're clogging our pores, they're clogging our veins and our blood vessels. They're slowing down the functioning of our organs. They're creating a lot more discomfort and pain than needs to, because oftentimes you're thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to, eat this small little thing because it's comfort food, but it's actually what's causing the problem. I've talked often in the past about, when I decide that I'm going to eat dairy, right? I can't eat dairy and my allergies just come up, but that part of me that wanted to, indulge into that normalizes, what I mean, the adverse reaction that my physical body is having, is not, like, a lot of people live with this. It's like a cognitive dissonance, what I mean? Like we do things that are dangerous and harmful for our bodies, that suppress our systems, that create the issues that, we're suffering with. And then when we're told what we need to do, it doesn't click. It doesn't, because we're so used to doing it, although we are creatures of habit. So we have to, understand we're working underneath that framework. But, this work requires more than just a pill, right? Chronic conditions require, more than just a pill, more than just a tea. They require more than just, one or two changes. Now, doing these changes is important, and getting the results that you need to feel encouraged periodically along the journey is important, right? But it's important to know that you've got to address the root cause, because if you really want wellness, right? If you really want to experience a level of feminine freedom, I like to call it, peaceful periods, if you're looking to experience successful pregnancies, right? What needs to happen is that you have got to address the root cause of the problems and really get deeper into the issue, right? Because, you cannot make one or two, changes and, because you've experienced this small shift, think that this is going to maintain and sustain you, right? Because there are layers. Illness, just as wellness, just as life, just as circumstances, has layers to it, It has layers to it, right? And so when you think that you only need to take, the pain medication to stop the pain, and the red tea, red raspberry tea in between to, just tonify the uterus, like that doesn't, like, one cancels out the other. You know what I mean? If you think that you're going to, start eating, more greens, and take some chlorophyll, but at the same time, you binge eat on the regular, you're not going to see any differences. You know what I mean? If you're going to, get the herbs to yoni steam, or, do all these things, but not maintain the protocol that you're given, or you're not going to get results. Okay, if you're looking to see a difference, if you're looking to move the needle and feel a difference, because what happens is, once you start to get results, once you find a protocol, once you find a system that works and you plug it in, you apply it, you commit, and you work through, you begin to see results, and your cells begin to change. The thing with the healing is that, we know that after, 90 days, all of your blood cells have replenished themselves, right? They've replaced themselves, they've replenished themselves. And so if you're giving yourself what you need in that time and applying aggressively, especially if you're dealing with chronic conditions, womb issues, period, reproductive health, breast health, hormones and all of that, you need to give yourself applied pressure and time to be able to get results, right? So what's missing? You have to know, right, where to go, first of all, to get the information, and then when applying, how to apply and when to back off, right? Like how to apply the pressure, first of all, how to gather up what the needs that you have, like, and not just, random information from different sources, but trusted, tried, true, proven protocols that work. Gather all of the tools in one, area, and understand the rhythm and flow of each one, because we are not linear beings. Okay, they have us working on a straight timeline here. When we talk about time, we're always working with a straight timeline, but we work on a spiral. It's a spiral and it's cyclical. And when you recognize this, then you can understand when it's time to go very deep into something, when it's time to rest and relax, when it's time to shoot forward ahead and be very, forward and aggressive with your attack, or when to just pause and ponder and pontificate and give time for integration, right? And so that's what this work is about. So that's the first thing that you have to understand. You have to know when to stop, when to go, when to think, when to go deeper, what are the layers to this? You've got to know how to change your frequency. This work relies on your frequency. That's what the whole thing is. So when you're looking at Occidental medicine, when you're looking at institutional medicine, they are working with scientific, factual, results that happen right away, that you can see that's happening right away. When you're working with natural medicine, you are looking for the results that you can see right away, but you understand that it isn't about stopping something right now. You know what I mean? Like removing it or taking the pain medication to stop it right now. It's about applying techniques to undo the patterns and the knots and the sequences that brought you to this point. So changing the eating habits so that you can undo the cellular debris that is locked inside of the cells, and triggering the DNA, the genetic information that you have that's, triggering and it's, especially if you have genetic information, right? Like your family has a history of womb issues, or you have a history of problems that could lead to, right? So once you start doing this, you begin to clean out the frequency and you begin to turn on other genes, right? And then and distance yourself from activating the ones that you don't want. And this is genes, this is DNA, this is cellular, you know what I mean? This is molecular, this is, physiological, these are your organs, this is, the actual flesh of the body. But what also happens is when you do this, you affect the mind. So you're able to think clearer, right? You'll be able to see and understand and perceive what's happening around you more. You affect your emotions, you know what I mean? So you're not, your emotional intelligence, has a chance to develop, has a chance to, experience different ways of relating to your hormonal system and how it's going to influence your womb health. I'm stuttering today. It's such a bizarre moment. But also knowing how to integrate, right? I think this is really what comes back, what to take, what to leave, you know what I mean? How to know how to fit the information into your own rhythm, your own personal cycle, right? And that's how you get into, thinking in the spirals and creating more synthesis versus analysis, which separates, like, well, I'm going to work on this particular thing right now, then I'll work on that particular thing. It's an interdisciplinary, multi-dimensional experience, working with mind, body, soul, and womb, right? And so when you are looking to delve deeper into rhythms, when you're looking to delve deeper into, healing and understanding what your body is saying at different times, what your cells are doing at different times, how you can, improve, your system. Like example, like you want to go to the bathroom more often. How do I get my system to go twice before 12 in the morning time and still in the afternoon again? You know what I mean? All these things. So it doesn't just end, you know what I mean? Like you do something and it stops, you know what I mean? It's a perpetual thing because there are layers to it. So it doesn't just end and begin again. It's a continual thing. And that's what we have to understand. Once you apply something, it's not a one and done thing. You know what I mean? Like you can't take red raspberry and nettle for 2 weeks and say, this is so interesting. So my Instagram here just keeps on shutting off here, but I don't know if you all got what I said, but I was saying it doesn't just end and begin with taking something one and done. You have got to apply a certain level of pressure and know how to move forward, how to go back, how to relax in, and how to, give space for integration period so you can cultivate your life rhythm and your healing. You know what I mean? Like really like spark that agony, that fire, that healing fire that naturally comes up within us as you apply tools and protocols to your wellness journey, right? So the process that takes you from where, from one place to the next includes, having that accountability. Having the accountability to move you through the plateaus, to get you from the difficult piece to the trying, experiences of getting through the concrete, because there's a particular layer of inertia that we all express, when we're moving into new areas, when we're trying to pioneer things, when we're changing our habits, when we're increasing our capacity to receive. And so knowing that in this process of working towards changing your frequency, right? In this process of cleaning out your thoughts, cleaning out your cells, cleaning out your emotions, cleaning your hormonal system, you know what I mean? Like really getting in there and removing, whatever is helping to create that stagnation, having the accountability to walk through this process is important. Aligning yourself, knowing how and when to do that, there's an oversaturation of information that's out there. And one thing that I have found, and that's what I also experienced in the beginning myself, was there's just so much, and everyone is doing so many different things and offering so many different things. So how can you siphon through, and know, but really just connecting to your heart and knowing that, if you're looking to get from point A to point B, knowing that you have accountability from people, from a group, from a person, from a program, whatever it is that you need to help you move the needle. There was one more thing that I wanted to say, but I don't quite remember what it was right now, but definitely, the message is that you cannot heal in the same environment that got you sick, right? So you created, or you were born, there you go, that's right. So you created, or you were born with, congenital issues, genetic issues, give thanks for the love. We also tend to, put ourselves in that state of, oh me, oh my, ER, There's always something that's happening in the back of our minds. But when you, once again, understand the give and take, right, of integration, of action, of movement, of, these four elements and plus, then you begin to understand the deeper layers as to why your journey, your particular journey, has taken on this specific, strain, right, of experience. Why am I, going through this particular kind of frustration, with the clots, with the periods, with, the pain, with whatever it is that I'm going through. And so having the protocol, knowing how to move and when to stop, being able to give yourself space to integrate the work, and having the accountability, through an environment that has created a container for you are the pieces of the puzzle that are needed to help you to sustain the work and move the needle. So I wanted to just come on and let you all know that, once again, the doors are open for Womb Wisdom for Hormonal Health. This is my 7-week program where I help women to walk through 3 phases of healing to be able to increase their vitality, reduce the need for medication, stop experiencing clots, apprehension, with their menstrual cycles, repeat miscarriages, just really help women to get in tune with their bodies and increase their level of expansiveness, of health, of wellness, of havingness, and receptivity. If this is something that you are interested in, we begin November 22nd. Doors close for enrollment on the 14th. And you can just hop on over to my bio on Instagram. You can click there in the profile. Or if you're on Facebook, you can click on the link below and read through the application and sign up for a next step call. And let's see if this is something that you and I can do together. I would love to host you. I would love to have you and walk you through and help you to cultivate your own womb wellness. Y'all take care, be well. It's always a pleasure to share with you. Bye-bye.